Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Human K channel. Today, we'll be diving into the fascinating topic of moral development and education. To explore this subject, we'll draw insights from the works of Lawrence Kohlberg and his philosophical perspectives. One crucial aspect Kohlberg questioned was the belief that morality is solely based on culturally relative norms and values. He argued against this assumption, highlighting the need to differentiate between morality and customs. He suggested that morality has a broader scope that goes beyond societal norms. Furthermore, Kohlberg distinguished morality from personal and religious values, asserting that morality can be separated from individual beliefs or the concept of right versus good. This distinction formed the basis for his argument that moral education can be taught in public schools without crossing the line into religious indoctrination or imposing personal values. Morality, convention, and personal values all play crucial roles in our lives, but they develop independently. Understanding these developmental trajectories is vital for educators as they shape students' moral education. Kohlberg believed that morality was intricately linked to justice. He emphasized the importance of understanding how individuals reason morally and aimed to chart the development of moral thinking throughout a person's life. To achieve this, he developed a unique tool known as the semi-clinical moral judgment interview. Kohlberg's original interview consisted of 10 hypothetical moral dilemmas carefully selected from the world of adults, rather than the familiar scenarios found in Piaget's studies of children. He believed that these challenging adult problems would provide valuable insights into moral development. One of Kohlberg's most notable dilemmas, often referred to as the Heinz dilemma, presented subjects with a difficult decision. Allow me to share it with you. In Europe, a woman is on the verge of death from a specific form of cancer. The only available drug that can save her life is being sold by a druggist at double the price her husband, Heinz, can afford. Heinz pleads with the druggist to lower the cost, but the druggist coldly responds that he intends to profit from the discovery. With no other options left, should Heinz steal the drug? The purpose of the interview is not to focus solely on the subject's choices but rather to analyze how they justify their decisions. Kohlberg wanted to uncover the underlying moral reasoning behind their justifications. Therefore, interviewers were instructed to encourage subjects to present, elaborate, and clarify their arguments. By examining the thought processes and moral justifications of individuals facing such moral dilemmas, we gain insights into their moral development. It helps us understand the cognitive frameworks and ethical perspectives that shape their decision-making processes. Now, we explore Lawrence Kohlberg's theory of moral development, which outlines a sequence of 6 stages grouped into 3 distinct levels: the preconventional level, the conventional level, and the postconventional level. To understand these levels, we need to examine the moral expectations we have within the conventional social order. The term conventional simply refers to what is commonly accepted. At the preconventional level, individuals see conventional expectations as external impositions. They believe that following these expectations is necessary solely because they are commanded, and non-compliance would lead to punishment. In contrast, at the conventional level, conventional expectations become internalized. Individuals value their membership in society and strive to be seen as upstanding members of their communities. They respect these expectations because they align with their own sense of being a responsible member of society. Moving to the post-conventional level, conventional expectations take a backseat to general, foundational principles. Individuals critically evaluate these expectations based on broader principles that transcend specific societies. They assess conventional expectations from the perspective of a moral agent aware of fundamental rights and universal values. Now, let's examine the structural core of the stages, which Kohlberg refers to as the sociomoral perspective. At stage 1, individuals are egocentric and fail to differentiate their own perspective from that of those in positions of authority. Rules are obeyed simply for their own sake or to avoid punishment. So, someone at this stage might argue that Heinz should not steal the medicine because stealing is wrong and he would become a bad person if he did so. On the other hand, another perspective might be that Heinz should steal the medicine because the druggist is asking an unjustifiably high price. Progressing to stage 2, individuals recognize that conflicting wants and needs can arise among individuals. They believe in pursuing their interests as long as it does not prevent others from doing the same. Therefore, one viewpoint might be that Heinz should steal the medicine because saving his wife's life would make him happier, even if he had to face the consequences of going to prison. Conversely, someone else might argue that Heinz should not steal the medicine because the fear and anguish of being in jail outweigh his wife's potential death. Advancing to stage 3, individuals adopt a third-person perspective, viewing themselves and others as members of relationships or small groups. They value upholding shared expectations for good behavior and prioritize sympathetic and prosocial motives. So, one perspective might be that Heinz should steal the medicine because his wife expects it and he wants to be a good husband. On the contrary, someone else might say that Heinz should not steal the drug because stealing is morally wrong and he has tried other legal avenues. At stage 4, individuals assert the importance of the social system and the need to respect laws and legal processes to maintain social order. They emphasize consistency within society and the development of individual character. So, some might argue that Heinz should not steal the medicine because it is against the law, while others might suggest that he should steal it but accept the punishment for breaking the law. Moving to stage 5, individuals adopt a prior-to-society perspective, judging the moral worth of rules and values based on more fundamental considerations such as liberty, general welfare, human rights, and contractual obligations. Some might argue that Heinz should steal the medicine because everyone has a right to life, regardless of the law. Conversely, others might assert that Heinz should not steal the medicine because the druggist has a right to fair compensation. Finally, at stage 6, individuals take a procedural or dialogical perspective on decision-making. They believe that the right course of action is what would be freely chosen by all interested parties, taking each other's perspectives into account and respecting others as equal and autonomous persons. While stage 6 is embedded in moral philosophy, its psychological status remains uncertain. Some might argue that Heinz should steal the medicine because saving a human life outweighs the property rights of another person. Conversely, others might propose that he not steal it, as others may need the medicine just as desperately and their lives hold equal value. Please keep in mind that while Kohlberg's theory provides valuable insights into moral development, the empirical status of stage 6 is still under debate. Nonetheless, understanding the different stages and their perspectives allows us to analyze moral reasoning and its progression. As you can see, Kohlberg's theory of moral development suggests that individuals progress through these stages, with each stage building upon the previous one. Now, I want you to reflect on these different perspectives and consider where you might fall on this moral reasoning continuum. While his theory provides valuable insights, it's important to examine some criticisms that have been raised over the years. Let's explore these critiques and consider their implications for our understanding of moral reasoning. One criticism of Kohlberg's theory is that it may be too focused on justice, neglecting other moral values. Some argue that it fails to fully account for perspectives that prioritize different aspects of actions, such as compassion, care, or other ethical considerations. In essence, this critique questions whether justice alone is an adequate framework for understanding moral decision-making. Another critique comes from Carol Gilligan, a former student of Kohlberg. She argues that his theory is overly androcentric, meaning it doesn't adequately capture the moral concerns and perspectives of women. While research has generally found no significant differences in moral development between the sexes, Gilligan highlights the need for a broader understanding that encompasses diverse perspectives. Furthermore, Kohlberg's stages are not culturally neutral. When applied to different cultures, it becomes evident that individuals progress through the stages at different rates. This challenges the assumption that moral development is a universal process that unfolds uniformly across all societies. While Kohlberg suggests that his stages correspond to underlying modes of reasoning rather than specific cultural beliefs, this critique raises questions about the cultural relevance of his theory. Last but not least, some psychologists contest the notion that formal reasoning is the primary motivator of moral behavior. Scholars like Jonathan Haidt, a social intuitionist, argue that individuals often make moral judgments intuitively, without consciously weighing factors like fairness, law, or ethical values. This perspective suggests that moral reasoning may play a lesser role in moral action than Kohlberg's theory suggests, challenging the notion that rational analysis is the primary driver of moral decisions. These critiques remind us that theories are not without their limitations. They invite us to critically examine and refine our understanding of moral development. It's crucial to consider alternative viewpoints and engage in ongoing research to further enhance our comprehension of human morality. It's essential to challenge and question established theories to foster growth and deeper understanding. As we navigate the complexities of moral development, these critiques will guide our exploration of alternative perspectives and theories.